Kev, thinking back to your youth and all these fun times like this, when you got into a physical altercation with another boy, did you ever slap him in the face and just laugh at him? Because I'm watching wrestling lately, and those are the kind of altercations between two men who fight for a living, purportedly.
All right, old slaps.
How they're solving problems. A slap and then a sardonic laugh at them.
I like what I like to do like when I'm jawing with somebody,
Hmm.
like I'm getting in somebody's face, is I like to think about in my mind if I had a really ill-fitting set of dentures in my mouth, exactly what kind of facials would I be making if
Logan
I
Paul
had
doesn't have dentures, does he?
I don't know. That opening segment of Raw, I'm like, what is he doing?
Yeah.
Please, Logan, watch that back and like, you've came out and you've told us that you don't need the money, that the Paul name is a household name in combat fighting. I mean,
And then a good slap.
a slap and a run.
Got a little hard way too, right? You think it was hard
I
way?
don't know. I couldn't tell if it was a hard way or if Phil took the blood capsule to sell it.
Is the
Seemed
capsule
off.
done?
It
Is the
seemed
capsule
off.
done?
It seemed awfully red.
Oh, would you want it to be green? I mean,
No, it just seemed awfully like the way. I don't see how a slap would cause that much blood.
right.
You knew it was coming, so I would hope you'd grit your teeth.
But in wrestling, wouldn't a blood capsule be unacceptable in a way to use?
Me and Scott used them.
Tell me.
I think it was when Scott and I were wrestling each other. What was that? Halloween Havoc. And Scott went to my like we were. I was pissed off at him because he was drunk and he came to the ring and was acting like he was drunk, but he really wasn't. He fucking lit me up and he went to my body with body shots because he threw such great punches. And I took a couple of blood capsules. I had a couple of blood capsules hidden over by the steps too, so I got like a double dose. And I had that hair, so with that hair you can hide anything.
Hmm.
And I remember we came back, and some of the old timers, like Piper and guys like that, were like, "What'd you do, man? Did you gig your tongue?" We went, "Fuck no, we didn't gig our tongue. We put blood capsules in our mouth." Like it's
Roddy
not
would
ni-
gig his fucking
yeah,
tongue,
it's not
wouldn't he?
19. But there's always those stories where Steamboat, filled the condom with blood, and you bite into the condom. I just don't want to put a condom in my mouth. I,
We did an episode. We had a show with Scotty called Ravens Wrestler Rescue. We were trying to. The shoot interview thing was running its course, so we tried to do reality type programming for a little while toward the end of kayfabe commentaries. And so this show, Raven would go to an indie show. He'd find a wrestler whose gimmick wasn't working, and he'd make him over, teach him how to do the promos differently, and just basically give him a makeover. And then the last segment, we'd send him out for a show in front of the crowd and see how if it went over or not. And so for one of the shows, he's trying to get this kid to do the condom thing. I can't remember if it was blood. I guess it was blood. He wanted him to spit. Maybe it was part of the
I hope
character.
it wasn't semen.
No, no, I don't know if it was like a mist or something, or I guess it was blood. So they fill it, and the kid's trying to break, and it's bouncing from to one side. He couldn't get his teeth to grit on the condom. After 15 minutes of shooting, Scotty's like, "Well, we don't do that shit anyway, so just spit the fucking thing out." And that was the end of that. But we did try the condom; it didn't really work.
Yeah.
Um, so all right, so the slap segment, I wanted to ask you about this, just because we've seen it over the years. This is nothing new. I'm not making fun of WWE. It happens. It's that. I guess it's the equivalent of the the dueling knights that smack him in the face with the white glove. It's insulting.
I
It's,
don't mind a
making someone
smack
a bitch.
if the guy stays there. I don't mind if smacking somebody if it's to antagonize, but not smack and then fucking be 100 yards out of the ring and then give
Oh, because
some.
he rolled out, you're saying, huh?
Yeah, and then give like like the now he's the Joker.
Mm. His teeth look fine to me in that shot.
He kind of he kind of looks like an alien to me a little bit.
Well, it works. He's a heel, so that's
He's got like
tremendous.
really long hands.
Well,
I bet you.
one
I
of those
wonder if
like
he. I wonder if he.
Roswell aliens.
I wonder if he could fucking play hoops because he's got good fucking hops. I wonder if fucking Logan Paul can play hoops.
He's athletic enough, I think. He probably has the
I just wonder. I
coordination,
mean,
right?
no, I'm not. I'm just wondering if he ever played hoops. If anybody out there
Like
knows,
organized basketball for school or
Yeah,
something. Okay.
yeah. Did anybody see the thing? It was on Instagram.
Okay, here we go. What is this now? That was very quick, Steve. Thank you. Now, who's this for? Is this like a charity game or something, maybe? Yeah, I can't see what's on his shirt. I'm guessing it's a charity game
I
based
don't
on the
know.
makeup of that team.
I mean, can we see him go to the hoop?
I don't know. Okay, what did you think of that layup, Kev?
Yeah, he would have been more impressive if he would used his left hand on the left
I
side.
was
So.
gonna say he switched hands and put it up. So what the hell is on tap for WrestleMania? We're here. It's the beginning of
The
March.
only thing we've got is Gunter
Where's it
and
going though? I mean, obviously it's Punk and Paul, right? Probably it's in some combinations,
I would think Punk
tag
and
or something.
Paul.
It's gonna
I
happen.
thought that I thought the highlight of the show to me was I actually like the Gunter squash. I haven't seen a squash in a long time. He did a good job on the squash.
Okay.
Um, Let me think. The show was like a half hour longer than normal, right? Wasn't it like 2.5 hours this week?
Oh, I didn't pay attention to the run.
I think it
Was
was
it?
like yeah, it seemed longer. I think it was 2.5. Um, and that's with no commercials. The I'll tell you what I thought was good was the match quality of the IC girls match. I, and that's the champ. I'm horrible with names. The other girl that did the job, I just it was so back and forth and such a good match, and then it was just like, okay, we got our time cue, and it was like one move and she got beat, and I was like, fuck.
Well, you could tell when they called it.
Yeah, it was
When they called it go home. Yeah.
the finish was just boom. So
Then you had title change too. The ladies' tag titles, of course,
yeah,
Liv and Rodriguez. Yeah.
which I mean you almost have to do because Jade's coming back, and you don't want to. They can't have the belts because Jade and Bianca were the tag champs, so you can't have.
Mm-hmm.
They've got to get stripped. So that just makes sense story wise. Let me think what else I liked.
What's The Rock gonna do?
I don't get it.
He's
They
going to be
did.
a part of it. Clearly, I mean, he's back
Oh,
now in March, so something's.
he of course he is. I guarantee you that the numbers when he's on are I'm sure much higher.
Is he going to work?
Don't know. I don't know. I don't know with this whole soul thing, and
He
then
wants his soul, bro.
yeah, well,
His father was the soul man.
I just I thought Rollins and Cody had a good promo segment.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that That was like, I like when Rollins is Rollins, not Rollins with the fucking ha 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 ha. Like, don't be a character, man. Just be you. You've been around long enough. You just, yeah, just watch Phil. Watch Phil in the opening segment. Punk's just Punk.
Hmm.
He's not playing a fucking wrestling guy. You know, it's
But
just
that's
like,
Seth's thing.
but it's not because he doesn't, he obviously was more entertaining in that segment to me than he was. I mean, you can, if you're gonna wear that outfit, please be real. Don't be fucking on top of that something else.
Hmm. Right.
I mean, even McAfee was like
Which outfit are you talking about? The
the
vest
fucking
or
the the
or
fucking
Seth's? Oh, okay.
the raincoat.
Hmm.
So,
So we
and does he
sell.
get this
Hmm.
shit made like for? I mean, where do these outfits go?
Well, this is the whole. I mean, they have an entire wardrobe department.
Yeah, but you can't like, you can't wear that again. It's like you're like
Oh, right.
Beyonce at this point. You
Well, you
can't.
could house show
As
that
hard as
shit.
that, did he wear that at the Super Bowl 9 years ago? It's like fuck, man. You can't wear that shit twice.
You can house show that shit after you show it on Raw.
I guess, but I mean,
They clean it, air it out.
nah.
Maybe use a little Mando on it.
Maybe make a loop. Well,
Right. Speaking of spraying the cracks.
so I went and got my Cadillac yesterday.
Okay, so now you have it. It's done.
Yeah.
It's in the garage.
Yep.
Okay. What may I ask? What the post purchase operatives cost?
Oh, maybe 7.
Not bad.
No,
I thought I was going to
but I mean, it
going to be
was
over
like
10.
it needed a new fuel injection system.
Hmm.
It needed the engine's not stock. It's a it's a basically a race. It's got headers. It's a racing engine.
Hmm.
So it needed a new alternator, a new battery. It needed a bunch of just the guy kind of like had the engine dropped in and tried to jury rig around it, everything else. So this my guy stripped it all down and it was still running a little rich. The fuel was still running a little rich,
Uh-huh.
but it's got a little bit of a. I think it's got a little bit of a oil pan leak. So
Oh.
that seal's going to have to be done. So
Did you get to cruise Atlantic with it?
I drove all the way I drove like 40 miles. I drove like all the way through Ormond, through the Loop, and then ended up on Beach in Ormond. I went Beach, which is along Halifax, but which is the west side of Halifax, not the beach side of Halifax. And drove it to Granada, went over the Granada Bridge, and then took Halifax Road on the beach side. And it was, I mean, but the thing is, and this is what it, you don't think about this until you do it, and then once you do it, it's like, okay, this can't be a part of my life. This car can't be a part of my life
What do you mean?
because I stopped twice, once to do something and once to get gas, and it brings attention because of the car,
Oh,
which immediately has people doing this,
right.
and I hate that. It's like the fucking asshole that responded to our comments of my privilege of being pissed off because I'm going to get fucked with in Europe on my European vacation. And oh my God, like talking about privileged. Number one, I'm 65 years old. I just drove a fucking Mustang for 18 years. I don't think I spend, I'm very, very, very frugal.
You're very frugal.
And it, my wife spent basically 30 years sitting around the house waiting on me to get done with this with a 300 a year, 300 day a year fucking job. And if I can't take her on vacations now in our twilight, which we really can't because, and the thing is like I have friends that are very concerned that are at the same part in their lives, same place in their lives, in their 60s that are getting ready to do another vacation to Europe, and they're very concerned about going over there and being Americans. Because it isn't like, we're looked upon with,
Admiration,
yeah, to say the least.
perhaps as we once were, the most desired culture
When you
worldwide,
look at when you
rock
have a
stars of the world.
when you have a UN vote and you're voting along with Iran and Russia, it's
Unbelievable.
yeah, a little
Yeah.
bit of a to me just it's eye opener. But then again, I didn't vote for Mr. Trump, so uh, obviously that's what the country wanted. That's the country that's the direction the country wants to go in. If they want to kick old people out of assisted living with and keep their Medicare or their Medicaid money so they can make sure that the top 1% get their $4.5 trillion tax cut. I'm That's what they voted for. That's what they get. If they want to cut farmer subsidies, I don't have a problem with it because I voted the opposite way, but obviously I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I'm a libtard. So they can have they got it. But at the same time, I don't have the option or the ability to put on a pair of sunglasses and a baseball cap and go someplace and be incognito.
No, you wouldn't.
I'm not a tall guy. I'm an NBA tall human being. When I go someplace and you Google me, I come up, you're like, fuck, that's him. And then you look up my net worth and I'm somebody to fuck with,
And then where does it go from there?
especially if
Yeah.
you've got bad intentions. So don't tell me I'm entitled or anything else. I should be entitled to fucking live my life and not get fucked with. That's what I should be entitled to, but I'm not.
Oh, so isn't it so upside down now? Where after working hard, saving money, putting yourself and your family in a position where if you want to go on vacation, you can go on vacation. We're in a time in the world now where that's looked down upon. We're in a time, not the world. We're in a time in this country where that's looked down upon. You're called privileged. You take care of your family. You do things the right way. They'll call your kids privileged because they were raised right. Like it's a negative.
Yeah. God forbid that I didn't buy like rims for every car that I bought in my life, that I put that money into some kind of
Right.
a
But if
mutual
you blew it
fund.
all on rims and had to
Yeah,
suck dick for food money,
absolutely.
you're somehow
Yep, that's it, man.
status. Yeah.
You're chill.
Upside down. Florida man, Jersey guy. Let's do this. Two headlines, two actual headlines from the news. One, a Jersey guy, one, a Florida man. And Kev, just hearing the headlines, we'll be able to discern the behavior of each. First headline, Kev. Man accused of child abuse, making children kill pet pig with a hammer. Second one.
One more time.
Oh, yeah. A man accused of child abuse for making his children kill their pet pig with a hammer.
All right.
And second story, wealthy pet store owner shot with crossbow after exotic bird robbery. First one, man accused of child abuse, making his
I
children.
got to go with Florida man first, and then New Jersey second.
It's hardly a challenge anymore, is it? That is correct.
Well, I just can't see Jersey having like I know that like Southern Jersey has farms, but
Mm-hmm.
I, that just that's
Well, Glenn Bird is the man in question here who was accused of the crime. Let me see here. Oh, it's a video. I don't have text on it. That's fine. It was Glenn Bird. There he is. And the pet store owner shot with the crossbow. This was in Saddlebrook, New Jersey. A pet shop in New Jersey has been subject to a series of crimes in recent weeks, with an expensive bird stolen from the business in one case and another, leaving the owner shot in the face with a crossbow arrow. Poor Mr. Raymond Carey. Oh, no, he's facing the charges, so it's Raymond Carey from Hasbrook Heights.
If you're going to go get a bird,
go to Birds by Joe 2, not the first one.
Would you like to come up to my place and pet my bird?
That was very Dice.
that's where I got it. Remember that?
My bird.
Come pet my bird.
You ever watch his Instas?
They're
Instagram? He just walks
unbelievable.
up to people in the air.
Excuse me, sir. Are you the artist, the magician that's got with the instrument?
The guys in fucking baggage claim, what?
You. Are you do you have your instrument with you? Are you?
You want a picture with the face?
You
With the
don't.
face.
You don't want? No.